What if I told you that success isn't really about luck or raw talent or where you come from? What if it's actually a habit that you can build? Well, today, we're going to break down the psychology of how that works based on the ideas of author Mohammed Qasim Butt. We'll look at how you can cultivate this habit in yourself and maybe even more importantly, in your children. Let's dive in. So let's start with a big question, one you've probably heard a million times. Is it true? Do the rich just keep getting richer and the poor stay poor? Is your fate kind of sealed from the day you're born?
Well, the source material for this explainer says absolutely not. To believe that is to basically deny how the world actually works. I mean, think about it. The world is always changing, always in motion. Every single day, new fortunes are made and old ones are lost. Nothing is set in stone.
Okay, so if our lives aren't predetermined, then what is it that really makes someone successful? Is it just random luck? Being in the right place at the right time? Or is it something we can actually control? Something we can build day by day, like a habit? And that right there is the core idea we're exploring today. Success isn't some lightning strike, this random thing that happens to you. It's a habit. And just like any other habit, whether it's going to the gym or learning an instrument, it's something you can build on purpose, with hard work and a smart plan. So, how in the world do you build a habit of succeeding? Well, it all comes down to a really fascinating psychological principle. Let's peel back the layers and look at the engine inside our brains that makes habits stick. This quote really gets to the heart of it. You ever wonder why some people just don't seem driven? The author suggests a really interesting reason. Maybe they've never actually been taught to enjoy the feeling of winning. They've never felt that little rush, that addiction, that comes from trying something tough and actually pulling it off. Now, that word addiction might sound a little extreme, right? But here's the thing. Modern technology has become the absolute master of this concept. Let's look at a few examples from our digital lives that you're going to recognize immediately. For instance, video games. Why is it so easy to lose hours playing a game? A huge part of it is the constant, tiny rewards, like collecting coins. Each little ding is a mini success. It's a small hit of dopamine to your brain that says, hey, you did something right. Let's do it again. And it's the exact same story with social media. Every single time you get a like or a share or a new follower, what is that? It's a small win. It's a little dose of validation that feels good, and it makes you want to post again to get that same feeling. But hey, this isn't all bad. This same principle can be a huge force for good. Just look at fitness apps. They are geniuses at this. When you hit your step goal for the day or you keep your workout streak going for 10 days in a row, that gives you a real sense of accomplishment. That little win is what makes you want to put your sneakers on again tomorrow. So all of these examples, the coins, the likes, the streaks, they all tap into something called the reward cycle. It's this simple but incredibly powerful loop in our brains. You have a small success, your brain releases a little bit of a pleasure chemical, and that makes you want to do the action again. That, right there, is the engine that builds pretty much any habit. Okay, so here's where we pivot. If giant companies are using this deep psychological understanding of the reward cycle to make profits, it begs the question, how can we start using it for something way more important? Like, say, raising our kids to be confident and successful. Now, it's really important to get this. The reward cycle itself is neutral. It's a double-edged sword. The exact same brain wiring that makes you feel good about hitting your step goal is what reinforces a destructive habit, like smoking to get a quick moment of relief. Your brain's reward system doesn't care if the habit is good or bad for you. It just responds to the cycle. And that leads us to the biggest question of this whole explainer. If corporations understand this psychology so well that they can build entire industries around it, why aren't we, as parents, as teachers, as mentors, consciously using this same tool to help our kids build positive, lifelong habits?
All right, enough theory. Let's get down to brass tacks. How do we actually do this? How can we apply this in real life? Well, the source material gives us a super clear, practical roadmap. It boils down to 4 simple but really powerful steps. 1. Give them small, achievable goals. And I mean small. Reading 1 page of a book, solving 1 math problem. The point is to make the win feel easy and accessible. 2. Praise them, but praise the effort and the completion, not just the result. This makes them feel good about the process. 3. Reward them. And this doesn't have to be a toy. It can be 15 extra minutes of playtime, or they get to pick the movie tonight. And 4, this is so important, make it fun. Frame it like a game or a fun challenge, not a boring chore.
when you start doing this, you have to realize this isn't just about getting homework done. It's not about chores. When we consciously build these little reward cycles into a child's day, we're doing something so much bigger. We're literally acting as the architects of their future mindset. And why is that such a big deal? Because when you teach a child how to succeed, even on a tiny scale, over and over again, you're not just teaching them facts. You are giving them a resilient mindset. You're rewiring their brain to see a tough challenge not as something to fear, but as an exciting opportunity to win again. And that's really the ultimate goal here, isn't it? As the source material puts it so perfectly, our job isn't just to raise kids who become monthly earning machines. The real goal, the higher purpose, is to help them grow into great people, confident, capable, and full of life. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. What's one small, achievable success that you can help your child experience today to start building that incredible, lifelong habit of success?